Good morning. Today I'm going to be teaching you some strategies to help you with 10 more, 10 less, 1 more, and 1 less. And I'm going to walk you through your 3 handouts that you have for this week. I'm going to be focusing today on a couple strategies to help you with this skill. What we want to be able to do is to do this mentally in our head, and we want to be able to do it without manipulatives, but I'm just going to show you a couple strategies that you can use that you can keep practicing with this so that eventually you will be able to do this in your head mentally. Okay, so our first handout this week on Tuesday, you're going to see a sheet that looks like this. You've got your number 22, and up here it says it wants you to find 10 less up here and 10 more down here. Now the reason it's set up this way is because that's the way that it looks on a hundreds chart. So if I had my hundreds chart right here, I'd have the number 22, and it's wanting us to look above and below it. But first I'm going to show you how to do this with base 10 blocks. So I'm going to get my place value mat. So my first number is 22. So I've got my place value mat. I've got the tens place and the ones place, and I'm going to take some base 10 blocks. There is a website on our Clever page that you can look at to build these base 10 blocks. You could use pretzels and Cheerios. You could use any item in your house that you have. You can use crayons for 10 rods. You can use a lot of different things. So I'm going to build the number 22. So I'm going to use my ones cubes here because there's a 2 in the ones place. So that means that there's 2 ones cubes. And then I have 2 10 rods here to represent the 2 in the tens place. So when I count this, I say 10, 20, 21, 22. All right, so the first thing I want to do is do 10 less. So all I have to do is just take away that 10 rod. So I'm just going to take it away, and I have now 1 10 rod and 2 ones cubes. So what number is that? Yes, that number is 12. So I'm going to write my number 12 right here. So 22, 10 less is 12. Now I'm going to build 22 back. And now all I'm going to do is add 10. So notice I'm just going to put a 10 rod. My ones place stays the same. And now count this for me. 10, 20, 30, 31, 32. So I'm going to put the number right here. I'm going to put the number 32. Now, when you look at it this way, this is the way it looks on a hundreds chart. So I've got my hundreds chart right here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a little T-chart to show you. And you can do this out of a piece of paper. But I'm just going to cut this like this and make a little T. And you'll see this on Thursdays where you have these little T-charts. You may notice we see these a lot during our calendar math every morning. All right, so now I've got this nice little T-chart, and I'm going to put it over the number 22. And when I do put that number over, I've got 12 is 10 less and 32 is 10 more. So I'm going to look back at my chart and make sure I did that right. And there it is, 12, 22, 32. And I can see that there on my hundreds chart, 12, 22, 32. Because when I move down my hundreds chart, I'm increasing by tens. And notice that my ones place stays the same. All right, let's do one more. Let's take 48 and let's build 48. So I've got my place value mat. And if I have the number 48, what number is in the ones place? And if you said 8, you are correct. So I'm going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I've got 8 ones cubes right there. And you can even group them to where they look more where you can tell what that is. All right, so I've got 8 ones cubes, and now I have 4, my number's 48, so that means I'm going to have how many 10 rods? Yes, I'm going to have 4 10 rods. So now let's count this number. 10, 20, 30, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48. All right, so I want to do 10 less. So all I'm going to do, if I want to do 10 less, I leave those ones cubes alone, and I'm going to come over here to the tens place. And 10 less, that means I'm going to take away a 10 rod. All right, what number do I have? 10, 20, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38. So my ones place stayed the same, but I'm one less 10 rod. So I'm going to put the number 38 right here. All right, now I want to build 48 back. So I'm going to build my 48 back. And now I'm going to add 10. So again, I'm not doing anything to the ones place. I'm just going to add a 10 rod. So now how many 10s do I have? Yes, I have 5 10s. So that's 50, and then my 8 makes 58. So I'm going to write 58 right here. So now I have 38, 48, 58, and I can check that on my 120 chart. If I find the number 48, and it is right there, 38, 48, 58. And you can tell I'm just skip counting by 10s. Now, this box looks a little different, but it's still the same concept. So I have 10 more than 62 is. So I need to build 62 first. So let's build the number 62. How many 10 rods would I have? Yes, I'd have 6 10 rods, and I would have how many ones cubes? 2. All right, so that makes my number 62. So I would say 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 61, 62. So now my problem said that I need 10 more than 62. So am I going to add a 10 rod or take away a 10 rod? Yes, I'm going to add a 10 rod. So now I just take a 10, add a 10 rod to it. So now I don't have 6 10 rods. I have how many 10 rods? Yes, I've got 7 10 rods. So that number is what? 72. Notice that my ones place stayed the same because all I did was add a 10 to that tens place. So that's what you'll be doing on Tuesday. Now, on Wednesday, your paper is going to look like this. So we see again where we've got our number here, and you're doing 10 less, 10 more. And look at this wonderful hundreds chart right here. So that can help you. So if you find 60, and there it is right there, if I want to do 10 less, which way do I go on my hundreds chart? Yes, I'm going to go up. So what number do I see? 50. Good. Now look back at 60. There it is. And I'm going to do 10 more. Which way am I going to go? Yes, I'm going to go down 10. So now that number is 70. All right, I'm going to do one more with you. All right, this one is 84. So I'm going to find 84 on my hundreds chart. And it is right there. All right, so if I do 10 less, I'm going to go up. And what number is that? Yes, 74. Notice my ones place stayed the same, but my tens place went down. Imagine taking those place value blocks and taking away that 10 rod. All right, I'm going to find 84 again, but now I'm going to go down to 10 more. So my ones place stays the same, but I go down and I no longer have 8 10 rods, I now have 9 10 rods. So that number is 94. So on Wednesday's paper, all you have to do is take your hundreds chart and you're moving up for 10 less and down for 10 more. And again, if you need your base 10 blocks to build those numbers, you certainly can do that as well. Now, on Thursday, we're going to be focusing on 10 more, 10 less, but you're also going to find one less and one more, and I'm going to show you. So remember we had that hundreds chart, and we had that T that we made. So it kind of makes this cross looking symbol here, and we can put it over our numbers. So let's say our first number is 74. So let's see if we can find 74 on our hundreds chart. All right, it is right there. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to put it over here. So now everything else is blocked out and I'm just looking at this little cross part. All right, so if I have 74, one less, I take away 1. What number comes before 74? Yes, it's 73. So I say 73, 74. And what number comes after 74? Yes, it is 75. All right, so now I'm going to do 10 less and 10 more. So I find my number 74. I'm going to go up, and that number is 64. Notice my ones place stayed the same. It's my tens place that is changing. Now I have 74, and I'm going to do 10 more. So I go down, and that number is 84. Now, I want us to show that with base 10 blocks as well, just to make sure that we're doing it correctly. All right, so I'm going to have my place value mat here, and I want to build 74. So let's go ahead and build that number 74. All right, so how many ones cubes do I need for 74? Yes, I need 4 ones cubes. So there's my ones cubes. All right, now if I have the number 74, how many 10 rods would that be? Yes, if you said 7, you're correct. So 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70. All right, so I've got 74. All right, so if I want to do 1 less, what am I going to take away if I'm going to do 1 less? Am I going to take away a 10 rod or a ones cube? Yes, I want to only take away a ones cubes because it's 1 less. So I take that away, and what number do I have? 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 71, 72, 73. Let's see if I got that right on my paper. Good, yes. So 1 less than 74 is 73 because I took away this ones cube. So it was 74 and now it's 73. All right, now I'm going to build 74 back, but now I want to add 1. Am I going to add a 10 rod or a ones cube? Yes, I'm going to add a ones cube. So now I have 7 10 rods and 5 ones cubes. So what number is that? 75. Good. So see, I got it right here. That was correct. All right, so now I'm going to build 74 back, but now I want to do 10 less. So do I take away from the tens place or the ones place? I'll take away from the tens place. Good. So just take away a 10 rod. Now what number do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 10 rods. So that's 60 plus 4 is what? 64. And there was my answer. I did it correctly. All right, so now let's look at, got to build 74 back. So I've got my number 74, but now I want to add 10. So do I add a 10 rod or a ones cube? Yes, I'm going to add a 10 rod. So now I have how many 10 rods? That's right, I've got 8 10 rods. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I've got 8 10 rods and 4 ones cubes. So what number is that? Yes, 84. All right, so you've learned that you can use for 10 more, 10 less, 1 more, 1 less. You can use your base 10 blocks to help you, or you can also use your hundreds chart. So you can use either one of these things to help you. All right, I hope you found this helpful.